Welcome to the Do Nothing Project for, I don't know, what's the date today? May 24th, 2020. Ongoing, continuing quarantine edition. I'm now in a different part of my house or apartment, and I can see that I have a terrible setup because the light is shining into the mirror. And what can you do? Please bear with me. We're having technical setup difficulties. I don't know. No, this is gonna fall over. See if it falls over. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Welcome everybody. If you've never been to the Do Nothing Project before, first of all, very important to have your expectations low. We don't really do things that are never very well organized, it seems. Fortunately, we are practicing the very useful skill of equanimity, meaning allowing things to come, things to go, allowing all the imperfections of reality to be there. And that certainly pertains to this low-budget production that you're now found yourself in. So welcome to all my friends, all the regulars. If you've never been before, we basically, I just do a little very brief intro and then I'll guide a 25-minute sit. And then after that, we finish up. Sometimes we might chat about something. Sometimes I go into the chat and answer questions. Yeah, so hopefully this is working. I don't know. I can't see the chat, so I never know if my internet's going to suddenly crap out. Yeah, and I guess there's no way I can know. So today I thought we would do a meditation on rest, a very good thing. A lot of the meditations here the emphasis is obviously on kind of doing very little, on resting, on relaxing. It's just been a theme today as I've been hanging out with different friends, and some friends are frontline workers, been working full on in the hospital, and they're tired. They're talking about how tired they are. And there's other friends who have not really been doing anything, and they're tired. And there's the collective tiredness, of course, of the stress and the worry about the future and worrying about loved ones and all those things. But I sometimes think it's sort of like this moment, it's this pause we're in, and it's only when we pause that we realize how fast we were going before, how tired, how much sort of sleep debt that we've built up. And that, I often, this happens to me in periods in my life where I slow down. At first, I'm really bored and agitated and I want to do more. And then it's only really a few days or weeks or whatever into it that I realize how massively tired I really am. So I wonder if there's maybe a flavor of that going on too. Anyway, regardless, I don't know if that resonates with you guys or how you're feeling about that. There's always option to share thoughts, comments in the chat. There's Andrew's usually in there helping out. I think he's in there tonight, and Lily responding. So if you have a question, things can get answered in there, or for people on our regulars may answer things too. Very much the vibe of like we're all in this together. Well, sharing wisdom, I guess. So let's do this sit. Oh yeah, I got a haircut. Sarah cut my hair this morning outside, and I think she did a sweet job. So I got the COVID haircut going. Highly recommended. Now let's do a meditation on rest. Okay, so pardon me. So as always, with the Do Nothing Project, if you have your go-to practice you like to do, you're very welcome to do that. A lot of this is just about kind of synchronizing with this larger community of people from around the world deciding to get together and not do anything. So it's fine to just do whatever your normal sit is, or you can follow along with this loose guidance. I like to start with a few deep breaths. Just the inhale is sort of the upward motions, stretching up the spine, finding some alertness, oxygenating on the inhale, and then the exhale, that's the downward motion. So just a little letting go. And you can be deliberate about that as you breathe out, sort of softening the forehead, the worry lines on the forehead, softening the cheeks and the jaw. And then just sort of move your way down like a wave. So on the next exhale, softening the throat and the shoulders, softening the hands, really landing on your chair, on your cushion, and noticing that contact, sort of the arriving moment, arriving on the seat, in your body, in this moment, here. So there's this awareness of being here. And at the beginning, I kind of like to just make this commitment, it's kind of setting the attitude, this commitment to the equanimity principle, really the attitude of allowing everything to be there, not getting uptight about things that you're trying to block, trying to brace against sounds you don't like in the room, or try to quashing down feelings, or trying to like being jammed down your thoughts. It's more like, oh yeah, that stuff can be there. You're just not going to feed it with your attention. And instead, you're going to pay attention to something else. Maybe it's the breath, maybe it's sounds, maybe it's just the feeling of being, not having to go anywhere. So for rest meditations, I mean, anything can be restful, any object ultimately, but there are certain kinds of directions or sensations and experience that can be especially sort of juicy in this respect. One of them is this feeling of the body settling. So you're stretching up the spine a little bit on the inhale, and then you breathe out. There's sort of this relaxing or settling motion, and you can kind of tune into that feeling a little bit, and that can become your meditation object. Just the feeling of rest in the muscles of the body. Another one is the out breath itself, since there's a kind of letting go there when the diaphragm relaxes. You can kind of follow that down, and you can tune into the lush letting go quality there. It's sort of subtle, but it can get quite lush actually over time. Or then there might be blank areas of your body or warm areas of your body that are kind of nice to pay attention to. Maybe your hands feel warm. It kind of feels restful noticing those, or maybe the edge of your body, kind of boundary of your body, sort of wavy. Maybe a point, like in your heart or belly. So these things are they only need to be neutral, but we can kind of bring an attitude of choosing to find something restful about paying attention to those things, choosing to find ever so slightly, relaxing. We kind of bring that into it a little bit to deepen a bit of the absorption. So play with that for a bit, if you like. Come back in a bit with some more prompts. So mostly we're just sitting here enjoying the break. The more you bring that attitude of sort of patience and like appreciating the opportunity to take a break, the more that kind of seeps into the sit. And there might be lots of thoughts there still, and feelings and discomforts. And the idea is to not to try to block those, but to kind of see if the best as possible we can kind of leave those in the background. And in the foreground, maybe you're just paying attention to the whole body sitting, or just the quiet in your room, or feeling a space or awareness, or maybe you're paying attention to a rest sensation or the feeling of the breath. And there's this, again, this patience around letting things settle, not being in any rush, letting yourself enjoy, or at least appreciate this opportunity to rest. And just notice sometimes we're in the middle of the meditation, we kind of realize still perseverating over something, or we're still kind of slightly fixed on something, or we're braced against sound, or there's some little way in which we're in a subtle mini struggle that we don't even realize we're in. So the invitation here is just to kind of, if something like that's happening, just letting go of that, coming back to your object, and very much kind of coming into this spirit of like there's nowhere to go, no one to be, nothing to perform. That's true rest. Sometimes rest finds us. We think it's us at the beginning looking for the rest or looking for a sensation that's sort of restful. As we slow down, there can be the sense suddenly of kind of rest percolating up all around us. Or just the feeling of this slow tidal flow of sensation moving forward and you're sort of moving back. And that can be really restful, this sort of flow feeling or noticing some stillness or quiet. The down inside things. Sort of slow down and get really still and notice that. So other forms of rest that sort of come to us, I guess you could say, when they're always there, just waiting under the surface. Okay, nice one. So I feel like you can finish with a bit of a sort of loving kindness practice. That's how we usually finish up here. And it just means cultivating a little bit of friendliness, kindness, compassion, gratitude, all those nice fruit flavors at the end. So tonight maybe let's do a little compassion practice. So when I do compassion practices, I like to start with noticing my own presence. So maybe do that now. Just notice the sense of solidity in your body, the steadiness, the presence, your feet on the ground, your seat on the cushion, your back straight. But the whole sort of humid feeling of your full body. Compassion for another person, there's the kind of warm side of compassion of deliberately, wishing the best for that person. There's also just the steadiness. That's sort of the ground of just being there for someone. So just notice, and now bring into your mind's eye someone who you know is having a hard time. And the first thing is that you just notice what it's like to sit with this person, to not flinch or turn away, but just to be there and be available for them. And then from there, I like to repeat the phrases like, may you be well, may you be happy, may your challenges ease, or whatever language works for you. And that may, when you're repeating your phrase, like, may you be well, you can, if you want, you can try to deliberately tap some, warm, caring qualities. But for a lot of us, it's not, we kind of express our caring more as that presence. It's not sentimental. It just feels like being patient, being there for somebody. So whatever it feels like for you, just repeating your phrase, may you be well. And just, you're not trying to reach out and fix them. You're not trying to compulsively offer some helpful suggestion. You're just being present with them and noticing your own caring for them, however that comes out for you. May you be well. And also notice all the other human things that can happen when you do a practice like that. Sometimes it backfires. Sometimes you don't feel compassion, you just feel annoyance, or you feel like judgmental about yourself because somehow you're not, activating the way you imagine you should be. So all that stuff's normal. And even so, we do it anyway. We just notice our presence and then send out some positive vibes to this person. May you be well, may you be happy, may your suffering ease, may your challenges ease. Just that wanting to connecting that intention to want them to be happy and healthy. It's like we're practicing this skill of the heart. And if you're like me, maybe your heart's like a bit rusty. Or you gotta oil it up a bit. Oh, may you be well. May all you guys be well. Yeah, it's good meditation. I mean, it's good for me. You guys are good. I didn't quite get that set up right. The light. Problem is, I have to like test it ahead of time, and I never know how wide the camera is. And blah blah blah. Anyway, happy to be here with you guys. Grateful for your practice. That was a good 25 minutes. I'm gonna finish up here. See you guys on Wednesday. I think I'm doing Do Nothing or the 10% Happier Live on Tuesday. I don't know if I've mentioned it much, but on Monday night, the CEC does its thing, Consciousness Explorers Club. It's from 7:30 to 8:30. So highly recommended. Those are different teachers really thinking about what practice to guide, and it's a really nice community. And I highly recommend folks if you're interested in doing that. It's nonprofit, and we pay all the teachers to do it. So if you can, put a few bucks into the Patreon campaign, that's cool. But if you don't have any money, you don't have to. But I highly recommend that if you're enjoying the evening meditations. That's a great resource. CEC's got a ton of guided meditations actually up on their website, CEC Meditate. Lots of that. You can listen to all for free. It all gets archived up there. So, all right, everybody. See you later this week. Enjoy the rest of your night.